there was a fascinating article in the New York Times that walked through his all of his portfolio companies, and it's pretty mind-blowing. He's very active. I know he doesn't have an equity stake in OpenAI, and he touts that. And again, I kind of respect that, but behind the scenes, he's got all sorts of projects. The Fusion project you alluded to, chips, WorldCoin, and all sorts of other projects that will benefit from the work that OpenAI does. How do you feel about kind of these mega moguls in Silicon Valley with all of these interests and commercial interests surrounding all of this potential AGI?
Some of those projects are wonderful. So I think he has another company where it's immortality research, right? It would be great if we all had healthier, longer lives. Nothing wrong with that. But it seems like he's kind of hedging his bets. And I think if you're creating uncontrolled superintelligence, your immortality bet may not work out.
You know, I've had about 6 or 8 guests come and talk to me about AI, and I probably want to get your thoughts on some of their viewpoints that they've given me. You know, when I look at these large trillion-dollar technology companies and some of the behavior over the last 10 or 20 years, including even us being censored by a YouTube entity or a Google entity, it always puts me in a little fear that they might have so much control. And you know, one of the things that Dr. Ben Goertzel's doing with SingularityNet is he's trying to make it open source and decentralized and on the blockchain, as opposed to in this kind of black box that we don't know who controls it. We've obviously seen a couple of the bad PR moves when Gemini spits out, African-American founding fathers and all these weird things that pop out. How do you feel about this kind of centralized versus decentralized? How do you feel about Microsoft and Meta and Amazon and these trillion-dollar companies controlling this AI versus maybe some other open source way?
So in general, I'm very pro-freedom, and historically open source software was the best. You could examine it, you can make sure there are no backdoors, you don't see a specific entity controlling it. If we're switching to this different paradigm of agents, and they are uncontrolled and they are dangerous, open sourcing that, making that accessible to everyone is actually counterproductive. Now you're giving dangerous weapon to psychopaths. Not that they can control it much better, but in initial stages, before that system is too powerful, they can provide malevolent payload. They can exploit it for malevolent reasons.
And what about trying to hold the people inside of OpenAI accountable, or the people inside the Gemini research and Google, et cetera? I mean, Ilya left OpenAI, started his own company. I think we can all read between the lines, and we know Ilya was a classic guy who was very concerned about AI safety. It looks like he left because maybe OpenAI wasn't taking that seriously. I don't know if that's true, but if I was a betting man, I would say that. Do things like that worry you?
Absolutely. And holding people accountable works in the old paradigm where you have a tool, your tool is unsafe, we can sue you, recoup some damages. If we create an agent and that agent destroys humanity, what does it mean to hold you accountable? Lawsuit, insurance payment, it's not obvious. How do you define those terms in post-problematic world?
Is it too late to slow down these massive companies now that have access to $1 billion of compute, and that are, they're really more powerful than nations to a certain extent. If you look at the Metas and the Googles, they can literally change elections and change public opinion. Is it too late to try to regulate them or put them under a microscope for the development they're doing with AI?
It's never too late. As long as we're here, as long as we can do something, it's not too late, but it doesn't look good. We don't seem to be doing smart things. We're not regulating them sufficiently. And I think, if anything, there is a movement for accelerating this development. Prediction markets are saying 2-3 years until AGI, and there's people arguing this is too slow. We need to speed up this process. We need to get there sooner. So maybe it's not going to work out.
Well, there's this term like effective acceleration, right? That I think refers to AI and other technologies where people say, I'm in the camp of faster, more is always better, and the opposite is not. Am I getting that right? And how do you feel about that kind of movement?
Well, that's what I'm referring to, exactly that. So just accelerating technology and hoping that it's always better, right? Like we have no precedent of technology turning out bad for us. I love technology. I'm a computer scientist. I work in engineering school. I teach about AI, but it has to be done right. You don't want to regret a product or service which is not safe and harms people.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim, watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I am just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's also been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just an overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you got to pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.